Hey YouTubers, welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Gen 3 Milwaukee 1/4 inch impact driver, part number 3453-20. We'll be going over the pricing, the specs, the features, and all of that. Then we'll be putting it to use to see how it performs, and then we'll be going over some things to take into consideration if you're thinking about purchasing this tool. So let's go ahead and take a look. So, like I stated in the intro, we are looking at the 1/4 inch Gen 3 impact driver from Milwaukee. Not sure you guys will be able to read that, but it is 3453-20. So going over some of the specs and features, the anvil is 1/4 inch hex. The peak torque is 1500 inch-pounds, which is equivalent to 125 foot-pounds. You have 3 different speeds and a self-tapping mode, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But on speed 1, you're looking at up to 1700 RPM, and then 2900 RPM, and 3600 RPM, and then the self-tapping goes up to 3600 RPM as well. And then as soon as it detects that the self-tapper is making good contact, it slows it down to not strip out whatever you're using the self-tapper on. It has no improvement on the IPM or impacts per minute. It is still 4000. It does have 3 bright LEDs in the front of the tool. It does have a nice little quick change here, which feels very sturdy. It is 5 inches long, and it is 1.6 pounds without a battery, and then around 2 pounds and 2.5 pounds depending on whether you're running the 2 or 4 amp hour battery on the tool. With the 4 amp hour battery, you're looking at an overall height of about 9 inches. And then some other things just to quickly note that you'll see, it's got a rubberized front portion here that wraps around the LEDs. You have your reverse selector and lock switch, your variable speed trigger, rubberized grip, the brushless motor, the belt clip, battery life indicator. Overall, I think the build quality is really nice. I haven't had any issues with the build quality on any of my Milwaukee tools. If you guys don't know, I run the Milwaukee M12 lineup and the DeWalt 20 volt, and I don't really go out from there. I try to stick to these 2 brands and battery sizes so I can just have 2 chargers and not worry about a bunch of different batteries. But that is it as far as the specs and features. As far as pricing, I picked this up for $139 from Acme Tools, and when I picked it up, you got a 4 amp hour battery included for free. So I got both for $139. You will normally see this bare tool for the $139 price range, so it is up there as far as other impacts in its range or in its class. So it is a little bit pricier compared to some others. So that is something to keep in consideration. So I do just have a few different size wood screws and drywall screws that we're going to try this on, and then a small lag and a couple self-tappers that we're just going to simply run into a 4x4, see how it performs, and then I'm going to take it out and test it out on a lug nut, see how it performs, because it does state that 125 foot-pounds, which we'll get into more of that information and my thoughts later on in the video. So stay tuned for the ending where we discuss how this performs, as well as some things to consider before making this purchase. So let's go ahead and put it to use. We're going to do 2 of each of these and some self-tappers. So let's go ahead and get started. And we did start out with a full battery. Let's go ahead and do the smaller lag. Obviously you don't normally use self-tappers in wood, but you can. Actually have it set on self-tapping mode now, so we'll see how that differs. And it automatically stops once it reaches that stop point. So there I'm still pulling the trigger and it has automatically stopped. So let's go ahead and take this out and see how it performs removing a lug nut. So we have this lug nut set at 125 foot-pounds. I'm not sure who put this wheel on, but they ugga-dugga'd it to death. This was way over 125. I think it's supposed to be around like probably the 80 foot-pound range, but it's ridiculous. So it's at 125, and we're gonna see if it takes it off, because that is the stated max torque on this tool. So we'll see how it performs. Did get it. Now this is just a quick test. It varies on material and fasteners, the performance that you're going to get with this. So keep that in mind. But now let's go back in and we will discuss some of the pros, cons, and things to consider before making this purchase. All right, so not gonna lie, I was actually pretty impressed that that got the 125 foot-pounds off. Now obviously that's breakaway, and normally that's max torque, so it's like ever hardly achieved in tightening a fastener. It may be more powerful under initial impact when you first start impacting, and especially in reverse, I find it to be pretty dang effective, because I have read and watched a lot of reviews on this tool, and from what I gathered, it had actually basically underperformed what had been stated as far as the power. It says 1500 inch-pounds, which is equal to 125 foot-pounds. There was a little bit of improvement from this over the Gen 2, and I think as far as speed, even though it hasn't really increased, it still performs very well. So you guys know, this is going into a universal bag that I'm putting together, basically something that's going to be good for electrical, woodwork, automotive, something that I can grab and work with a lot of, have a bag basically set up that's very versatile. So this is going to be going in there, and then my DeWalt will be staying at home. So the reason I didn't do a comparison from this to this is because this is a 20 volt. There's plenty of reviews out there of this compared to this, and it's really not a fair comparison taking a 20 volt versus an M12. If anything, the 20 volt or the M18 version of this should be compared to the DeWalt 20 volts, but we'll get into that here in a second. Overall, I am very happy with how it performed, both with the wood screws, drywall screws, self-tappers, and small lag. It's not too often that I do stuff like that. That's not my profession. I'm more the automotive side, so I don't have the most experience with that. But for the things I'm going to be using it for, it performed very well. I think in my universal bag, this is going to take care of 80 to 90% of any job I need it to. It can take care of the small things like wood screws. I'm not in any rush to get a job done. So like if you're in a profession where you're trying to get as much work done as possible, there are obviously going to be better choices out there, ones that can put down multiple more screws in a faster time frame. Does that mean that this is not worth it? Absolutely not. I think it's a fantastic tool. There are just others that you should consider. So like I was saying, I've done a lot of reading on reviews and watching videos where this thing did not perform as well as it states. Well, you got to keep in mind that also depends on the material that you're working with as well as the fastener that you're working with. There are a lot of things that play factors there. So that's why you can't always just go with one test, that may fit a certain scenario, job type versus others. And there's a lot of good channels out there that go over multiple different scenarios, like the tool test channel and or torque test channel, and they do a lot of fantastic reviews. So they came up where basically you're seeing about 70 foot-pounds to 95 foot-pounds if you're lucky, but that also depends once again on scenario. And even if I couldn't get that lug nut off at 125 foot-pounds, normally I'm working with majority of the time under 100 foot-pounds. So whether I'm doing electrical, carpentry, automotive, whatever, it's usually under 100 foot-pounds. So this will take care of basically everything I need it to. The thing I love about impact drivers are you kind of get the best of both worlds. You got a drill and the ability for impact. So it's a very versatile tool for me and my needs, so it may differ for you. But let's go over some things you should consider. Sorry, my heat just kicked on. A couple things I do want to point out real quick. Something that I wish the Milwaukee had that the DeWalt does. So when you insert a bit into the Milwaukee, you just kind of have that. Where the DeWalt, when you insert, it is spring loaded, so it holds the bit forward, which I feel like gives you better control. Maybe that's just, mind games on my part. But another thing that I like is when you pull that quick release, it moves the bit forward. It basically wants to eject the bit, and some bits it will. This one, and that's due to that spring tension in there, this one does nothing. So you do have to physically remove it completely. So nothing major, very minor, not a deal breaker. Obviously, just something that I really like about the DeWalt that I wish the Milwaukee had. Overall, I think it performed well, especially for my needs. But if you do work in those scenarios where you're only seeing, like the other channels where they reviewed this and they're only getting 70 to 90 foot-pounds, and you're looking for a tool that's guaranteed 125 foot-pounds, you're probably going to want to consider something else other than this, just in case. So other than that, some other ways that you could go about it is the Gen 2 version of this. You're getting basically the same results, but right now you're paying $139 for this bare tool without a battery. The Gen 2 you're getting for $129, sometimes $100 with a battery or two. They have, obviously you're going to find much better deals for the Gen 2 for basically the same performance. So if you run the M12 lineup and you don't want to spend this money, you can save a little bit of money and get more for your money by going to the Gen 2. Or if you also run the M18 lineup, I would consider going with the M18 version of this tool, which you're going to get about double the power out of it. So that's quite a deal there, especially for like $10 more you get the M18 version. If you don't have the M18, maybe you run DeWalt. I've had very good experiences with my DeWalt little impact driver. It's Delta Charlie Foxtrot 887. It's a very popular one, and it performs very well. So if there are any questions that you guys have on this, I hope you guys found it informative, and just some things to consider before making this purchase is to just consider the Gen 2 version if you run the M12 lineup and you want to save some money or get more for your money, or consider the M18 version if you're needing that extra power or that top range of this 125 foot-pounds. If you know you're going to be working around that power range, you may want to go to the M18, or if you run DeWalt, there are other options there. Overall, I think it's a great tool. I think the quality is good, and the build and everything, I just wish that it had that spring tension there. And then depending on your work scenario and what you're working with primarily, you may want a little bit more power out of the tool. That's really all I have to say about this tool. If you guys have anything else that you guys are wondering, please drop a comment down below. I'll do my absolute best to answer the question for you. And then that, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your thoughts on this tool, whether you're considering picking it up or what you decided to go with instead. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys next time.